I read pretty good books this year and my 2025 reading challenge is completed. I had just 30 books in my list this year and gratefully I completed 80% of them and 20% were the books that I could not resist reading out of my TBR list because it just happens. Also, a thing in my bucket list was to explore different genres and authors because I was hooked to something from a long time. In addition to that, I believe when you read something and you like it, you try to read more of the same type of literature to release the abundance of feel good hormones. I don't know if this is universal, but you wouldn't want to know how many times have I googled books like Harry Potter and Truly Devious. Again, there were a very few books that I did not like or I did not finish. Majority of them were extraordinary and brilliant, but now after this achievement, I am not able to read. Since I marked the 30th book as finished, my reading routine is messed and I'm sure it's because of the ego boost. Another reason might be the book that I picked. It's Sophie's World. It's a nice thick book about a girl getting bombarded with existentialism and philosophical concepts. I saw so many people recommending this for getting into philosophy, and this happens to me most of the time that whatever book is on hype, I see people crying about it, marrying its characters. The book will disappoint me. It happens. Like, not this time, but majority of the time, this thing happens to me. The problem is that I have two or three friends who read, otherwise, internet is my only bookmate. It's a good book, but it's a lot and it'll take time. So either I'll continue reading it or I'll just switch to something lighter in case my reading slump decides to linger. Back to the books, I read so many new authors like Haruki Murakami, Mary Shelley,
Chitra Banerjee, Devakurni, Dostoevsky, Agatha Christie.
and different genres too, because fantasy had jinxed me. I read my first psychological thriller, The Silent Patient, and that book motivated me to read more thrillers. I read some Indian authors that took me out of the misconception we have about Indian authors. The Forest of Enchantments by Chitra Banerjee Devakurni was the most vibrant book I read this year, and it was so beautiful. I absolutely loved it. A friend of mine who's a huge Agatha Christie fan suggested me Murder on the Orient Express as a starter. It was a pretty good book, but at page 100 something I got bored and I watched the movie instead. Dostoevsky just made me feel worse, and his literature is super intellectual, but it's dry. His books will give you a wider view of the human psyche, but will mess with your psyche, so read carefully. Also, while exploring the different genres, I read no fantasy books this year and I sincerely miss them. Please recommend me some good fantasy books down there. In the end, I would say reading is amazing, and everyone who's watching this video, I want you guys to start reading. It's a different experience and it's not a race. I am a slow reader, like I read very slow. I read for days and then suddenly I won't touch a book for weeks and months. It's a very normal, basic, and natural thing. The point is to read and read. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.